Hey guys, so I'm currently working on the So You Think You Can Sew competition outfit, and I'm having some trouble deciding on my design features. I have the basis of my dress put together, but I'm not sure exactly how I want to use this panel quite yet. It's kind of difficult of a pattern to work with just because it is so circular. So I'm going to turn you around and show you what I'm doing. So this is the panel here. And I found this used to be my old ballerina skirt that I cut the waistband off of, and for some reason I saved the skirt. It is very, very old, but it's the exact same material as this panel, which is the, I believe, ITY knit. Interlock twisted yarn knit, I think that's what it is. Anyways, this is about the same size as half of this panel if you were to cut the kind of circular shape in half. So I'm going to use this skirt as a basis for my shape. Now it is a lot like longer, but it's a good example just to use for now. And I'm realizing it's got a rolled hem serge on it, so I'm thinking it might work really well for me to do that on this too. But the reason why I thought of pulling this out was, one, because of the shape, and two, I'm thinking of putting some flounces on a sleeve to show off this design. So I think I'm going to cut this skirt in half, and if I sew it together like this, and I'll get two out of this, this will be approximately the effect that I would get from this panel if I were to cut it in half and then sew it together. I would get approximately this shape. So I think I'm going to cut out some sleeves for my dress here. Now right now I don't know if this is what I'm going to keep with, but I have this white netted fabric that I got at Fabricland that is see-through. So I put a blue jersey underneath that matches that panel. And I've just got some side bust darts. And you can see that I've made it very tight and form-fitted. And it's pretty plain on the back for now. It's just got a seam down the back. And somehow magically I've matched up my stripes pretty well. And same with at the shoulder. They've matched up really nicely. So I'm stuck between using a sleeve flounce style. I'm stuck between doing a flounce style with that same shape kind of along the front. The thing with the tight skirt is that I have to put in a slit or something. I really want to put in a godet or some kind of back panel that is flouncy so that I can show off this panel more. I just don't want to stick this panel anywhere and just that's it. I want to be really creative with it. So the other thing I'm thinking of, if I do the flounce sleeves, maybe I'll continue with that white knit on the outside and use this as a lining, so it's kind of like a peekaboo effect of the panel, and then use the panel elsewhere on the back somehow. But I'm kind of really liking the idea of a flounce up at the top that kind of starts at the neck and comes to the side. Kind of like if you were to imagine a raglan sleeve but without the sleeve, kind of, so it's open at the top. But if I do that, then I'm gonna have to figure out something with the sleeve. Maybe it's a cold shoulder. I'm not sure. So I think I'm just gonna cut out some white sleeves, just the top half, and add this flounce and see how it looks and see how it goes. But I just thought I'd stop and document that, and yeah, see how it goes. Hey guys, so I'm on to the next step, and I kind of decided, I think, my final design. Hopefully it will stay this way for sure. But I just put the dress on my dress form and kind of did a bit of pin lines of where I need to cut off. So I'm going to chop the top off, which is a little bit scary, but I do have lots of fabric if I do decide to do something different. So I'm just going to show you what I did. So this is the neck here, this is the back. And so I basically, when I had it on the dress form, I just took some pins and marked where I want to cut. And then in the front, sorry, this is a bit confusing because it's kind of half sewn, so I could kind of decide what I was doing. This is the front, so these are just pins to hold the neckline together so it was flat with the jersey. And then here you can see on the front I did the same things with the pins. So I'm just going to go ahead like I've started at the back to start cutting it off. And I think this is the design that I'm going to go with. So I've got a kind of tight fitting dress, which is the white and the blue jersey fabric. And I think I'm going to use the panel as a lining for the sleeve flounces, so it kind of is like a peekaboo effect, and have the white fabric on the outside. And then use the panel for these ruffles. And I also have this blue lace, crochet lace, that matches pretty well to the blue that's in that, and the blue of my jersey lining. So I think I may or may not, depending on how it looks when it's finished, use that for the straps. That's kind of what I've drawn there. And the flounce of the arm will kind of cross over at the front and at the back a little bit. So I'm hoping that will be my final design. I may or may not have a little slit at the back, but I think it's not too bad the way it is. But I don't know. I think that's how it's going to go. So basically, with this panel design, I'm going to cut it straight down the middle and use 1/2 for one sleeve and 1/2 for the other for the lining of the flounce. And then I'm going to use the other panel and do the same thing and just cut further out in the circle. So probably like more of this section for the flounce that goes from the front to the back so that I have extra, because this will obviously be bigger than this area, whereas for the sleeve I'm probably going to cut it like pretty close in and kind of come out to here-ish area. And then maybe I could get this from the other panel as well and use that for something else. I'm not sure, but I'm going to try and use as much of it as possible. And if this doesn't work for the straps, I'm just going to use some of the jersey here, maybe interface it and use maybe this section or something like that for the sleeve. So we'll see how it goes, but I think that's what I've got. Before I had more of a just kind of high neck style with the sleeve coming to about here, and then I had the flounce, and I just had the same kind of style body wise with my bust dart. My bust dart's still in there, it's just the flounce will probably cover it. But originally this is kind of what I had in mind. And for the back, I was thinking of putting some kind of, so if this, sorry, so you can see here, if you can imagine the center back line here, I was going to have like a godet kind of out the back. And then I was thinking about having a deep V in the back and the godet. But the reason why I didn't like the V back was the design of the panel is so roundy. I know that sounds silly, but you know, the main shape is very round. And so to put a very pointed shape in the back didn't seem right. This seems much softer to me and follows the style line of the print in the panel. Because I felt this was too simple, and I thought the contrast between the white and the panel here would be too much. That's why I'm going to use it as a lining over here. And I just wanted to put a godet or something in the back so that I would be using the panel more than just on the sleeves. But I think I'm happier with this design. I was kind of torn between this style of dress or this style, but I'm kind of mixing them together and just making this a little bit more muted by using the panel as a lining. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to get cutting and fingers crossed it goes well. Hey guys, so I'm getting down in my sewing room working on my outfit, and I just did something to the top front, and I just thought I'd show you guys this as a tip for when you're sewing with stretch fabrics or anything delicate and you want to reinforce your seam or your edging, especially on something that has holes in it like lace or netting, and you don't want to put interfacing because you're going to see it. This is a nice trick that I like to do. So I'll just turn you around, and right here is my kind of top, my center front, the kind of neckline, I guess you could say. And I have turned it so that my right sides are together, and I wanted to put a piece of interfacing along the top so that it had a little bit more structure here, but because of these holes I didn't want there to be kind of like a white chunk underneath, so I just pinned it together and serged a piece of white cotton twill tape into the seam. So now my top edge is finished, but it also has that secure strength of the twill tape. Let's see if it'll focus here. There we go. And here's the back. So when I put it out the right way, I'll reach in here and pull it out. This is my front, and I might understitch it as well to just hold that in place. That's the inside. And then when I go like this, my edge will be nice and finished. Now you will see it a little bit, the white twill tape in there, but it's better to have it secure than kind of have nothing in there and not have a lot of strength. So once I understitch that, it'll roll this knit lining to the underside, and then it will have a nice finished edge on it. So I'm not sure exactly where I left off yesterday or last night, I guess it was, but I did go ahead and cut into my panel. I'm still deciding on my sleeves, but I have decided on kind of a double ruffle feature on the top of the dress and then also on the sleeve. So I'm just trying to decide how much I want to show off this panel, because I think that I obviously need to show it because that's what I'm working with, but I wasn't sure how kind of stark it would be with the white. So I'll show you again here on my table. I've kind of used that middle medallion piece that was in the print, which is, this is the very center that I cut out there, and used this part to act like a sleeve flounce. And here's my sleeve with the cut off cap for the kind of cold shoulder look that I'm going with. And I'm torn between doing it like this, which I think is kind of the right way, just because I really do want to feature this panel because that's what I'm supposed to be working with, or doing it this way with the white on top and then featuring the panel underneath kind of like a peekaboo lining. But I think because this is a lot more drapey than this, I can't really sew it together. As you can see here, I followed the print, so it's not a clear curve. So if I were to sew these together and bag it out, I don't think it would hold the shape very nicely. Which is why if I did it this way, I would probably just have to do 2 separate layers, and I just don't think you would get the full effect that I'm thinking of. So I'll probably go ahead and do it this way. The other problem or issue that I will hopefully be solving tomorrow is how to hem this. So because the shape is kind of curvy, it's up and down, and I don't want to take away from the beautiful print of this fabric, I can't really just turn it under and double needle it, and I don't really want to just do a regular serged edge because I honestly or personally think it looks unprofessional, but that just comes from my kind of technical background. So I'm thinking that I will double needle this part if I choose to do the double layer. Just serge this edge, turn it up a little bit, and double needle it. And for this part, because of this very odd kind of up and down shape that's happening, I'm thinking I will do a rolled hem serge on the serger at work. I really don't want to mess with mine, and the one at work I know does a good job. And today I found some purple woolly nylon thread for the serger, which will work really well. So I think that's what I'm going to do for the edging. That way I can keep as much of the print as possible without taking away from any of its beauty. And I may reuse these pieces somewhere. I'm just not quite sure yet. So I'm just going to hang on to those for now. And I think you seen yesterday that I cut off the top of the dress that I had originally. So that's my back. This is my front. And I'll have the kind of ruffle detail coming down into the sleeve and then around the back. And then I have that lace for the straps that I think I'll use. So that's where I'm at right now. I did have the sleeves attached, but I'm going to do them a bit different. So I just unpicked the serging and I'm going to go back and fix that. But that's where I'm at. So hopefully tomorrow when I take this to work with me, it's not too busy at the shop tomorrow. So I'm just going to take this in and work on it and figure out the hemming of this panel. And try to do a little bit on a scrap piece. There's some pieces that I've cut off that I'm not using. Or I have that skirt piece, my ballerina skirt from way back when that I was practicing my sleeve with, which is actually where I got the rolled hem idea because that's how they finished this one. And it kind of gives that frilly edge look. Hopefully you can see it there. So I'm going to practice with that when I do this, and hopefully it will work well so that I can hem the sleeve ruffle and the kind of front to back ruffle. And yeah, I'm hoping it goes well. The weather is supposed to not be so nice this weekend, so I'm a little bit worried about taking pictures because I really want to go outside. The trees and everything is beautiful there. They're all fall, like traditional fall colors, and everything's falling, so I really want to get it before all the leaves fall. Hopefully I can do that this weekend. If not, I might have to do some indoor pictures. I'm not sure. So on to the next step, and I will try and update you guys tomorrow if I remember. Fingers crossed. Hey guys, so I'm not sure exactly where I left off yesterday or if I did an update this morning, but I remember saying that I was going to take my outfit with me to work today because it wasn't busy, and I really wanted to use the rolled hem featured on the serger that we have at work because mine behind me there, it's very finicky with changing the settings. And I'm able to change it really easily with different fabrics, but changing it to a rolled hem I think would just be a nightmare. And before I left work yesterday, I actually found some thread that would match perfectly for what I needed to serge. So I had said that I wanted to use the rolled hem because I didn't want to lose any of my print as much as possible, so that, you know, I could still keep the effect and the shapes that I cut out, because some of them were irregular and rounded, and you know, they weren't just like a smooth curve. So I didn't want to just fold over and double needle anything because like I said, I wanted to keep as much of the print that I cut out as possible. So that was kind of my main goal today, was to get anything rolled hemmed, because I wasn't sure how long it was going to take me to figure it out, just to get the right settings and thread everything. And oh my goodness, it went so well. I honestly can't believe how well it went. And I actually finished my dress while I was at work today, which I did not think I was going to do. I thought that I would just figure out the rolled hem, maybe get my sleeves on, and a few other things, but I didn't think I would actually finish it. So I have another thing to add to that. Because I'm finished now, and it's only Saturday, I look at it and I absolutely love it. But being the non-simple person that I am, I just can't leave it alone. I need to make something else, because I still have some pieces of the panel, which I know we don't need to use the whole thing. I'm clearly aware of that, you know, rule, I guess you could say. But I am still obsessed with, if I can show you here, this dotted kind of border that was on the panel, if you can see it. For some reason, I just really love that dotted edge. So I don't have anywhere to put it on the dress that I gave it away. It's a dress. I can't remember if I said that already. I think I did. I showed you a sketch. I don't think there's anywhere on it that I want to use it. I think the way it is perfectly fine. So I have, I think, probably 2 more meters-ish of this white fabric that I used for the dress. So I bought 3 meters at Fabricland, just in case, because I wasn't sure. I actually seen this a few weeks ago and was going to purchase it, but I just decided not to at the time and purchase a different fabric instead. So it's kind of funny that I went back and found this and it was perfect. So I have quite a bit left, and I honestly don't really have another idea for it outside of this sewing project. So I'm thinking that I want to make some sort of jacket or vest. I'm thinking maybe a duster style vest, something that's longer than the dress. And because the sleeves are such a statement, I don't think that I can really add sleeves. So that's why I'm thinking a vest. I can maybe do cap sleeves or very short t-shirt sleeve, but I think it might look weird just the way it is. So yeah, I'm thinking a jacket, and using that dotted border print on here as like some kind of edging that can go down the front and maybe around the neck and maybe on the bottom. I'm going to measure how much of it I actually have, because I didn't cut any of it off other than cutting the panels in half. So some of it is obviously separated from the rest of it. So that's what I have. And then I have, you know, some of these middle pieces from the kind of middle medallion. I have a smaller piece with just the flower. I was thinking it might be cool on the shoulder or something like that, maybe some sort of yoke. But honestly, I'm thinking of just keeping it really simple and just using this as some kind of feature. This piece of the panel, I actually have the middle between the two, which I thought would be cool to maybe go down the back or something like that. I don't think it's quite long enough for what I want, but I just really want to try to utilize it somehow or other. I want to use it because I feel like I have time tonight. I feel like I can do it, finish it, photograph it tomorrow, and I think tomorrow is the only nice day before actually Tuesday, and I want to have everything done before then. I don't want to be working on it anymore. Monday's supposed to be, I think, raining, so don't want to do that either. So anyways, I'm going to show you guys the dress now, see what you think about it. Let me know down in the comments when you first see it. But I'm actually really proud of it and super surprised at how well it went. It was funny because this morning I was working on it, and my friend Leanne was in the shop. We were talking about Dota stuff, and I mentioned to her that I don't even know if it actually fits because I haven't tried it on yet. I just draped it on the dress form and cut out the pieces, and I thought they looked a bit small, but I think it'll work. I just kind of eyeballed it and just thought that it would fit. And she was like, what do you mean you haven't tried it on yet? You need to try it on. This is crazy. Like, you're gonna have to wear it a few days. Like, what? Why would you do that? And I was like, I don't know. I laid it out and I think it looks right. And you know, I just have this tendency to make, when I'm making projects for myself specifically, I just tend to finish it and then try it on after and then fix it, which is backwards. But she was like thinking I was totally crazy and said she had to leave, but she said she wasn't gonna leave until I tried it on and showed it to her. So I tried it on, and I didn't even have the top finished or anything, but it fit perfectly fine. I even had my leggings on and it was fine. So yeah, I'm so excited. I need to pick out shoes and everything to go with it. But anyways, I'm gonna stop blabbering and I'm gonna show you guys. So we'll start at the bottom. Yeah, this is it, you guys. So from the top, I guess we'll start. This is some crocheted lace that I bought in Rwanda, I believe on my trip in 2016. And I just love it because it really matches the blue in the panel and the blue that I used for the jersey lining. So that's what I did there. This is where I did my rolled hem serge for the panel edging. Hopefully it'll focus. There we go. So you can see the back. It's a super nice clean finish edge. And that way I didn't take away from any of the panel. I get as much use of it as possible. I just gathered it at the top here. And I just followed the print of the kind of medallion that was on the panel. And it wraps all the way around the back, which I guess I should twist this. So it's the same in the back as the front, right over left. And then your arms, so you've kind of got a cold shoulder look happening. Your arms in here. This part of the arm isn't lined with the jersey, it's just the white fabric. And then I used the other panel to cut out the middle. And I actually followed the shape of the pattern, so as you can see here it's curved. It's more pointed there. More pointed there, so it's not a completely round shape. This one's more pointy, you can kind of see it there. So I just followed the edge of this kind of dotted circle that was around it. And then I did cut an extra white flounce to go underneath it to kind of give it some shape. And then I did do the rolled hem on that as well. Worked super well. So let me turn this again. So this is one panel here. So I cut each panel in half. So this is one half and this is the other half, because there was two big square panels together. So that's one. And then the sleeves are the other one. So I've just got this shape, got my bust darts under there, and then my double needled hem at the bottom. Actually, you can see here on this sleeve, it's pretty pointed there. But I just followed the shape of it, and yeah, it worked really well. I love that green that's in there. The green and the yellow just really stands out to me. So of course it'll look a little bit different when there's actually like arms in there and everything, but I'm so super, super happy with it. So let me know down in the comments, you guys, what you think about it. I'm actually really, really proud of it, and I mean, totally regardless of the competition. I honestly haven't really even been thinking about it as a competition, just that I want to be creative with this and complete it by this date and have it done and ready, and you know, be proud of it and be happy with it. And I just am. I think it's really original, and I don't know. Like I was saying in the first episode where we opened the fabric, Myra was asking me where I get my inspiration, and I was saying that usually the fabric inspires me, and I think that that really comes out in my design because I just strictly made those shapes off of the design of the pattern. I mean, I didn't make a pattern piece for those ruffle pieces. I just cut out what was on the print of the design of the fabric. So that took me and made it over there. So yeah, I don't know. And I just draped that the body piece, as you've seen probably earlier. Hopefully I added that in. The sleeve pieces, I used a sleeve block that I had, made it a bit bigger, and then cut the cap off. And I mean, before it was a full regular dress, and I just cut the top off, just eyeballed it with some pins and chopped it. So I don't know, I don't think I normally have this much success in, you know, like no backtracking, or, you know, it just went smoothly how I wanted it. And I took a really long time to decide if I wanted both flounces and or ruffles, whatever you want to call them, because I thought maybe it might be too busy or something. But I really I love it, and the fact that I had like the perfect colored lace to go with it for my straps is like completely amazing. So anyways, I'm going to try and figure out this jacket vest duster thing. I don't know, I'm gonna look up a few things on Pinterest, but honestly I have it pretty clear in my head what I want, and I just want to use up the rest of this border print somehow or another. And yeah, I'll update you guys later, I guess. So I just want to tell you guys what I'm doing, because I've completely changed my original idea that I just talked about earlier with the kind of long duster style vest, because I cut it out and put it on my dress form, and I just felt like it wasn't going to work because of the way the sleeve is. It kind of hangs down and it's an off the shoulder sleeve, and so when I kind of pinned the underarm of the vest together, it wasn't really going to sit right. I was going to have to drop the armhole really low and basically get rid of that original normal armhole shape. So I completely scrapped that, but I will be able to use those pieces later and make something, so I'm not too worried about that. But I had one of those kind of pull over like scarf cardigan type things. It's basically just a big rectangle with a slit down the middle, and it's just a ready to wear one that I had a long time ago and thought, ooh, maybe I have just enough fabric left to do something like that. So I took a look, and I have not quite enough fabric, but I'm making it work, because like I said, I really wanted to use that dotted border. So I'm actually sewing it on now, and just thought I would show you guys what I'm doing. So this is the kind of slit area. This will be the where your neck is, and then it comes down the front like this. So I've just done it like a binding, and then I'm just actually double needling it to catch the underside. It skipped a stitch there, but it's actually working really, really well, and I think it's going to look really pretty. I'm going to see how much of this border I have left to maybe go around the back bottom, and then just fold over the sides and double needle the sides and leave that. But I think it's going to work really well. I just had to sew the two of those together to make that part. But yeah, so I'll show you guys what it looks like when I'm done sewing this, but I thought I better talk about it now before I go any further. So yeah, I'll let you guys know how it looks. So I think this is complete. I think I've completed my outfit. It is like 11 o'clock at night now. And like I said before, I had to ditch the vest idea because it just was not working. But I finished it, so I'm going to show you guys now. So this is the kind of shawl piece that I made. You kind of see these everywhere. They're very oversized, basically giant piece with a slit down the middle that goes around your neck. I did mine slightly different just because of this piece that I used from the panel. I need to kind of press it and make it sit a little bit flatter. And I just double needled this edge as well as the other side of the binding. So that's the front, and this is the back. So I wanted it longer at the back than the dress, so it's a couple inches longer. And you still have, let me turn it here, you still have coverage of that upper arm. So this will sit up a little bit higher once I'm actually wearing it, and then this will come down to cover that. So, and then you still get view of the sleeve and all of that. So I think I did a pretty good job with this piece, and making sure that I wanted to use the border and still having view of kind of my statement details. But yeah, I think it worked out really well, and I'm really happy with it. So I'll probably do some little updates tomorrow when I do pictures and stuff, and whatever else I need to do. I'm not sure what shoes I'm going to wear or anything like that, so I'm going to have to figure that out in the morning. And I have to go to work, not to actually work, but just to go to the shop for a bit and do a few things for Doda. And yeah, so I'm not sure. I want to try and photograph this in the morning, but I might go to the shop first and do what I need to do and iron that properly, because my iron is still acting up. I need to get a new one, so I might use the good one at the shop. It's a nice steam iron. It's a Dupre, if any of you guys need an iron. It's a Dupre from Costco, and it's got the tank on it and everything. It's been really great. Anyways, that's just a side note, but I think I want to go and use it so I can get that steamed out properly, because mine's leaking, so there's just no point in me even trying to put water in it. So anyways, I feel like I was a little scared there for a minute with the vest, because I cut it out, and then I was like, oh no, I don't know if I have enough fabric now to do this idea, which I wish I had thought of in the beginning, or thought more about the sleeve and how the vest was going to fit. But I think that this is absolutely perfect, and when I go outside and take pictures, it'll just be nice because it is colder out. So anyways, I'm super happy with it, and I can't believe it's actually done and ready, and I can do pictures tomorrow. So I will get back to you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, so it is the next morning after completely finishing my outfit, and I'm a little dressed up, kind of, my bun's kind of out now. But this morning I went outside and tried to take some pictures, and I wasn't having such a good time doing it by myself, so I asked my mom to come help me, and she did a really good job. She is not a technology person at all, but she actually took some great photos. And I just went out in the garden, went outside, and took the ones that I wanted. And my original idea was to actually stand up on the retaining wall outside, and I did try it, but I was wearing heels, and I thought maybe not the safest thing to do. I'll show you what I mean. So this is just out the window of my sewing room, and I wanted to stand up on the top of that wall, concrete wall, which I did because I wanted like all of this in the background, the nice fall trees and everything. But after standing up there just to see if I could get a proper shot, it felt very unsafe, so I didn't continue to sit there very long and chose to be by the garden and the pond instead. So nonetheless, it turned out really well. Hopefully I will pop up those photos in a minute for you guys. And if you did see the That Sewing Blab competition live on Crowdcast, then you would have already seen this, but I hope it goes really well. Obviously it hasn't happened yet as I'm filming this, so I have no idea what the result is, but regardless, I honestly don't, I haven't really been thinking about it as a competition. I've been thinking about it as a sewing challenge, and I really did choose to purposely challenge myself while making this outfit, and I made something really different and very unique, I think. So hopefully it will go well on Tuesday, and I get to see Andréanne's creation as well, because of course I have no idea what she's made, but it'll be super exciting to see our different takes on the fabric that we were given. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got to see a little bit of how I put this together and my sketches and all of that. There's definitely a lot of thinking that went behind this. About probably like the first week was me just thinking about what I wanted to do and how I wanted to make this. So, but honestly, the sewing part of it came together really well, really quickly. The only thing that didn't go so well was actually that shawl that I made at the end. That was just an add-on type thing because I really wanted to use that border that was on the print. So I finally got it together late last night. I think it was like around 11 or something. I said that I finally left my sewing room and went upstairs to bed. So I'm glad to have it done now. I'm really proud of it, and the photos look good. So anyways, you'll see the photos here in a minute. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time, crafters. Bye!